invasion of the cockroaches. They're coming to your restaurants. They're multiplying under your home. They're even stealing your identity. Now they want to take over the world. Beware of the invasion of the cockroaches.
Didn't we go through this already? Why, yes. Yes, we did. As the focus of this episode has a set of giant cockroaches trying to take over Riverdale using Pop's diner after he changes it to impress a food critic. Though the idea of Pop's changing his diner isn't a terrible plotline, I'm amazed they didn't have him be taken over first and then change, as other than being a few scenes at the beginning, the food critic doesn't really have much of a point. The gang goes and frees the captured adults after about 2 minutes of them saying, "Hey, aren't they all acting weird?"
Guys, there's something weird going on in town. Have you noticed how a lot of the adults are acting lately? Watch.
Hello, eat it, Pops. Ask for the back booth. Goodbye.
Odd, but not weird.
And as they possibly kill all of the main roaches, as it's never made clear, Archie realizes something.
Jughead, you remember that screen we saw the Cockroach Queen's face on?
Yeah, it was huge.
What if it wasn't a screen? What if it was a window?
Then that would mean the queen wasn't 6 feet tall. She'd be gigantic. Now that I've lost my army, I guess I'll have to take over the planet by myself.
Which also only lasts about 2 minutes, because most of the episodes of the show seem to be extremely quick to wrap up their Act 3 plot points instead of building up to them. Like I said, this episode feels like an entire rehash of the B episode. The only difference is that their plan of attack, at least at first, the cockroaches try to subtly blend in, whilst the bees were just full-on assault. However, once the giant roach queen appears, it's exactly the same. Whilst the reason for the roaches being like they are is better than the B episode, the story for this is just too weak in comparison. Pop's change is too sudden, both in turning into an asshole and then back to normal with no explanation other than being worried about a food critic. Whereas him being replaced by the roaches and changing the diner to help them would have made more sense and would have cut out the food critic that amounts to nothing at the end of the episode. Along with the fact that the roaches for some reason only made the back booth the one where they take people. Because surely other people would notice that people were disappearing from their seats, especially as the amount of time it takes for the transformation changes between scenes. As the first time it happens in about a few seconds, but later on, the scene shows it taking a solid 30 seconds or so, so having the entire diner under roach control would make much more sense for people not noticing. So for an episode that, like pests, just keeps coming back, this episode ends up at number 32.